Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the second part of my Blackjack series, and in this video we're going to be making the deck class and using a lot of the methods from our card class from last episode. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that now. So the first thing we're going to do is make the class declaration, and we can do that by writing public class deck. And then we're going to create the attribute for the class, which is just going to be a single array list of cards. So array list card, which is the class we made last video, cards equals new array list and the first method that we're going to make is a method to fill the deck. So we're going to just loop through the enumeration of the values and the suits that we made from last video, and we're just going to fill our deck. So we'll call the method fill deck. It's going to be a void method fill deck, no parameters, and then we're going to make a double for loop. So for int I equals 0, I is less than card dot suit dot get suit length plus, and for int j equal to 0, j is less than card dot value dot get value length j plus plus, and we're going to just create a new card equals, and then inside of here we're just going to pass in a suit and a value, because this is what a card takes. So card dot suit dot get suits, we'll pass in I, and then we'll do card dot value dot get values, pass in j, and then we're just going to add that card that we created to our array list, and that's going to complete that method. So the next method we're going to make is a method to reset the deck, and this is going to be used for the end of rounds in our blackjack game when we need to return the cards back to the game to redeal the cards to the players and the dealer. So we're going to just call this reset deck another void method, and we're going to specify a deck, and we're going to say in deck size equals this dot cards dot size, and then we're going to have one for loop. We're going to iterate over the deck size. I'm going to say deck dot cards dot add this dot cards dot get, and for this second for loop we're going to another less than the deck size, I'm going to remove the card. So in this method, what we're doing is in this for loop, the deck that we're using this method on, so the deck that we're saying like, oh, deck dot or player hand dot reset deck, so player hand dot reset deck, that's going to be this dot cards dot get I. So we're going to essentially go through the player's hand and we're going to get that particular element, and then we're going to add it to the overall deck of cards. So yeah, that's just what this is doing, getting the player's hand or the dealer's hand and putting it into the deck. But even though we're putting it into the deck, it technically isn't removing those cards from the player hand or the dealer's hand, so we need to go put that into another for loop and remove it from their hands as well. So that's what this is doing, and you have to remove the first element of any particular array list, because if you try to iterate through it, you'll get an index out of bounds error because you'll be trying to access indexes that aren't there anymore. Moving on to the next method. This method is going to be used to remove cards. So pretty much it's a simple method. It's called remove card. So public void remove card, and it's just going to take an index, and then we're just going to say cards.remove index. So that's going to complete that method. It's just for removing cards. The next method that we're going to use is a shuffle method. Public void shuffle. And we could create a method or some sort of like loop that does this for us, but when you use an array list, you can use the collections class, and what this allows you to do is access their methods. All you have to do is import it, and then you can use all their methods. So they have a shuffle method, so we can just do collections.shuffle, and then we just pass in our array list of cards, and that's going to shuffle it for us. So the next method we're going to do is get card. So this is just going to allow us to get a card from the deck. So public void get card, cards.add, deck.cards.get 0. So just pulling the top card off of the deck, and then we also have to remove that card from the deck. So remove that too. Moving on to the next method, this is just going to return the size of the deck. So say public void get deck size, return cards.size. Moving on to our next method, this is going to be used to figure out the hand value of the player or the dealer. So this is going to return an integer, so public int get hand value. So like I said, it's going to be used to figure out and calculate the value of a particular hand. So we're going to create a integer value, value, and we're going to set this 0. And then we're going to have another variable to account for any aces, because in Blackjack, aces can be 1 or 11 depending on which one helps you the most. So we'll have one to take care of the aces. So we're just going to use an enhanced for loop to go through our array of cards, and then we're going to use a switch statement depending on the value of each card to calculate the total value. So enhanced for loop for card, and then we're going to say switch card.getValue, case ace, aces plus plus, break, case 2, value plus equals 2, break, and we're just going to do that for every value. So for 3, value plus equals 3, break, same thing, case 5, seven, break 9. And then for the jack, value still 10. Queen, value still 10. And then king, value still 10. And then under here, with the aces that we have, we're gonna use a for loop and just iterate through the aces. So 0, and then we're gonna say if the value that we have in our hand is less than or equal to 10, value plus equals 11, and then we'll say else value plus equals 1. And then we need to return the value. That's inside this loop. But outside the loop, make sure you check to see where things are. So this needs to be right here. Make sure that you put your return statement in the correct place. Just check where this brace is lined up, and then you'll know where to put it. So that goes right there. And now the last method for this class is going to be a toString method. So if we need to print out a string representation of the deck just to make sure that it's working correctly and that everything is displaying as it should in the console. So public string toString, because if you don't make a toString method, it's just gonna print out a memory location, and it's just gonna be the actual deck object. So for this toString method, we'll make string deck is equal to just an empty string, and then we'll do a for each loop, hence for loop. Say deck plus equals card dot to string plus \n /n, and then we're just going to return the deck. So what that's going to do is just iterate through all of our cards and then add the card.toString method that we made, and then a new line. So it'll just print out the entire deck with each card on a new line. And the card.toString should just return the suit and the value. So like spade 7 and all that other stuff. So that's going to conclude this video. Thanks so much for watching. Part 3 should be coming out soon. And if this video helped you out in any way, please drop a like and a sub. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. If you haven't seen my other tutorials after you finish this one, I also have an Uno tutorial, so you can go check that out. But alright guys, that's going to wrap it up. I'll see you in the next one.